This phone completely fixes all my issues that I've had with the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 or even the brand new Pixel Fold. I'm not even joking, every complaint I had about those two devices were completely fixed with OnePlus's first and only folding phone. This phone has completely blew me away with everything. During my week of using the phone, my first impressions are that this is not only the best folding phone that you can probably get here in the States, but I think this is the best phone, period. So let's go ahead and start out with the amazing benefits of this phone. So first of all, this phone is $1,700. So it comes in at $100 cheaper than a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, but the Fold 5 actually starts with less storage and less RAM. You get 256 on the Fold 5 and 512 on this bad boy. And this also has 16 gigabytes of RAM, whereas on the Fold 5, you get 12. Another thing that is fantastic about this phone is the fast charging. The OnePlus Open comes with a 67-watt charger in the box. You get it in the box. You don't need to go out and spend your own money to get the full benefits of the phone. I really appreciate that coming from OnePlus. From 0 to 100%, you can charge this phone in around 40 minutes. That is insane for a folding phone here in the States. Again, maybe in other places around the world, in other regions, you guys have something similar, but you got to keep in mind the United States is very limited when it comes to folding phones. There's really only 3, right? And the other 2, Samsung and Google, charge really slowly. Another thing I love about the phone is the form factor. It is absolutely perfect. It's like the cross child between the Pixel Fold and the Galaxy and the Galaxy Fold, right? So when you're looking at it straight on, you don't even know that it's a folding phone. It looks like a normal phone. But then when you open it up, you're greeted with this massive 2,800 nit display. In fact, both displays go up to 2,800 nits. That is absolutely bonkers. This makes it not only the brightest display on a folding phone, but it's the brightest display on any phone. As a comparison, a Galaxy Z Fold 5, which is already crazy bright, goes up to 1,750 nits, and the Pixel Fold goes up to 1,450 nits. So, as you can imagine, this phone is very bright. I mean, you cannot not see it outdoors. You know what I mean? It's impossible. You will see everything. The cameras are also pretty darn good. It has 3 optical lenses, the 1x, the 3x, as well as the ultra wide. But OnePlus even put in a 6x digital preset into the camera layout. And I must say, the 6x digital zoom looks pretty good. Now the main camera and the ultra wide camera are both 48 megapixels, whereas the telephoto 3x camera is a whopping 64 megapixels. The photos coming from this phone look really good. I mean, I cannot really find anything that I don't like, especially coming from a folding phone. Now, of course, it's not going to be competing with your iPhones and your Samsung, not folding phones like the normal Samsung S23 Ultra, for example. It's not going to compete with that. But when it comes to folding phones, I must say this is really good. It might be the best folding phone camera that I've tried, but then again, take that with a grain of salt. I've only tried 2 other folding phones. Samsung, Google. That's it. Fitted with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, this phone performs as great as you can expect. Oxygen OS is super fluid with no noticeable hiccups or lags, and heat management has been fantastic. This phone never overheated on me, not even once, even when I was using it outside in 80 degree temperature. Well, that's a tongue twister. By the way, Celsius, bam. So yeah, no overheating issues at all, which is not what I could say with the Pixel Fold. Now, another benefit is the anti-glare screen. So obviously, you will still see reflections like this light that I'm using in the background. But it is not as reflective as other folding phones 100%. The Galaxy Fold is very reflective. The Pixel Fold is very reflective. But this phone, especially when you're using it outside with harsh lighting, or even indoors when you got the lights up top on, this phone it doesn't care. You can literally notice the anti-glare screen the second you look at it, and I truly notice it every single time that I pick it up. It is truly good. And I like that OnePlus is actually focusing on actual user experience of using a phone where the main display is not glass. It's kind of like a plastic with a very tiny glass like layer underneath it, but still the layer that you're actually touching is just plastic. So for them focusing on the anti-glare kind of component is super, super good for user experience. Which brings me on to the crease. It is barely there, as you guys can tell. It's just ever so slightly there because it's more spread out over a wider area, rather where, you know, the Galaxy Fold, for example, has this just major valley going straight down the middle. Same with the Pixel Fold, even though the Pixel Fold is a little bit better than the Galaxy Fold 100%. But this phone just takes it to a whole new level. When you're looking at it straight on, just as with the Pixel and the Samsung, you don't notice anything. But even when you're looking at it from the side, it's super hard to notice. Like, watch, let me go to my home screen. Look, it's barely there. That is super good, especially, like I said, for user experience. That really does matter. Especially if you run your finger along it, you barely notice it. You have to really try it out for yourself to believe me, right? Because it almost doesn't make sense. You just do not feel it, which is incredible. Sometimes I forget that I'm even holding a phone that folds. It's really good. This phone might be the only folding phone that I keep for long-term usage and long-term experience, because that's the only folding phone that just makes sense. The battery life is crazy good, 6 to 7 hours easily. Charging speeds are mind-blowing. The anti-glare screen, the perfect form factor, the brightness, the hardly, you know, any crease. It is just like the best of all worlds combined. You know what I mean? So this might be the only phone, or the only folding phone, that I keep for long-term usage. So if you guys want to see a ton more videos on that, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely leave it a like. It's absolutely free to you, but it helps me and the channel a lot, and I always truly appreciate it. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.